Life Study of Matthew, Message 24, The Decree of the Kingdom's Constitution. In this message, we come to the last section of the King's Decree, concerning the ground of the kingdom people's living and work. Before we consider chapter 7, verse 13 to 29, let us review what has already been covered in this constitution. We must be deeply impressed with the fact that the constitution of the kingdom of the heavens is based upon the divine life and nature of the kingdom people. We need to keep in mind that the constitution of any people is always according to the life and nature of that people. No one can fulfill the requirements of this constitution unless he has been regenerated and possess the life and nature of the Heavenly Father. Those unbelieving philosophers and teachers who have quoted certain verses from Matthew chapter 5 through 7 have not understood the words they were quoting. This constitution is not given to be unbelievers because it is based upon the spiritual, heavenly, and divine life and nature of the kingdom people. Only the kingdom people can live according to it. Moreover, not even the kingdom people can fulfill the requirements of this constitution if they do not live according to the divine nature and the divine life within them. This constitution is not given according to the natural life or to the human nature of the kingdom people. To repeat, it is formed according to the divine life and divine nature. This constitution firstly reveals the nature of the kingdom people as unfolded in the 9 blessings in chapter 5 verse 3 to 12. Those items of the constitution that describe what the kingdom people should do and how they should act all correspond to the nature of the kingdom people. Whatever the kingdom people do is an expression of their nature. Their actions, behavior, speech, and outward deeds are the expression of their divine life and nature. What is within them is manifested in their outward behavior. The first section of the Constitution, the section concerning the nature of the kingdom people, is therefore very basic. The second section covers the influence of the kingdom people upon the world, and the third deals with the law of the kingdom of the heavens. As we have seen, all the complemented and changed laws expose our anger and lust. Beginning in chapter 6, the constitution of the heavenly kingdom proceeds to deal with the way the kingdom people perform their righteous deeds. This portion of the constitution digs out the self and the flesh. Following this, the next section tells us that the kingdom people should live on earth without any anxiety. We are not here for anxiety, but for the fulfillment of our duty under the care of our Heavenly Father. He will feed us, clothe us, and supply all our needs. Nevertheless, we must fulfill our responsibility for the accomplishment of God's people, yet without anxiety. In chapter 7, verse 1 to 12, the Constitution reveals the attitude we should have toward others, how we should deal with them, and how we should take care of them by the time we reach chapter 7, verse 12. Nearly every aspect of our living and behavior has been covered. It seems that the Constitution is now complete, perfect, and all-inclusive. However, one thing remains to be covered, the fact that the kingdom people are on earth doing the will of God our Father. Hence, in the last section, there is no dealing with anger, lust, and natural being, the self, the flesh, anxiety of our attitude toward others. Instead, in this section, we read the entering the narrow gate and walking the constricted way. We also see that we must build a house and do the will of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, the conclusion of the constitution of the heavenly kingdom ushers us through the narrow gate and to the constricted way. Thus, we may do the will of the Heavenly Father and we may build a house. As we consider the constitution of the kingdom of the heavens as a whole, we see that it fully reveals what the kingdom people are, what they should be, and what they should do. It also reveals where they are and where they are going. It reveals that on the constricted way we must do the will of the Heavenly Father, and we must build a house according to the word of the Heavenly King. In the last section of the Constitution, there is no anger, lust, self, flesh, anxiety, nor any word about our attitude toward others. Instead, there are four crucial words: gate, way, will, and house. Here we have the narrow gate, the constricted way, the will of the Heavenly Father, and the house built upon the rock, which is the wise word of the Heavenly King. If we are not the people described in the 9 blessings, and if we are not those fulfilling the complemented and changed laws, we cannot enter through the narrow gate, walk on the constricted way, do the will of the Heavenly Father, or build a house on the rock. Thus, this last section is the consummation of the Constitution. Entering the narrow gate and taking the constricted way. Verses 13 and 14 say, Enter in through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide, and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and many are those who enter through it. For the gate is narrow, and the way is constricted, which leads to life, and few are those who find it. Who can enter through the narrow gate spoken of in verse 13? Only the kingdom people with the nature described in the 9 blessings in chapter 5. Those who enter the narrow gate must be poor in spirit, mourning, meek, hungry, and thirsty for righteousness, merciful, pure in heart, making peace with all men, willing to be persecuted for the sake of righteousness, and willing to be reproached for Christ. Only those with such a nature can enter through the narrow gate. Furthermore, those who enter through this narrow gate must be under the higher laws of the kingdom, the complemented and changed laws, and they should not have any anxiety concerning their living. Rather, they must have the confidence that their Heavenly Father is taking care of them. Moreover, they should not be lazy or idle, but diligent and industrious. These are the people who enter through the narrow gate and walk on the constricted way.